Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. You are in the Prog Corner. Oh, boys and girls, cats and kittens. Today's going to be a good one. We're looking at the new album from Norway's Jordsjø. Man, I love these guys. They were formed in Norway in 2014. It's two cats. They're a duo. It's Haken Uftung, who sings, plays guitar, plays flute, plays keyboards, I guess a little bit of bass guitar in there too at times. And then you've got the drummer Christian Frohlen, and that's it, man. It's a two-piece band, but they sure don't sound like it. Their first album, so to speak, came out in 2015. It was only available on cassette. They followed that up with another cassette the next year called Jordsjø 2. And then also in 2016, they dropped a split cassette with Breidablik called Songs from the Northern Wasteland, which was a little more subdued, a little more electronic. And then they came out with their fourth cassette, Jord. This is where I discovered them. This was in 2017, and I got a hold of the cassette, and I fell in love with it. And then a lot of people started paying attention, and they dropped... couple things. First of all, they dropped on vinyl and CD. This is like a compilation. It's got Jord 2, and that split, the Jordsjø songs on that split cassette, all put together on a double album. And then Jord, which was their fourth cassette, they dropped that on vinyl. Fantastic. I love this album. They followed that up in what year? 2019, Nattfuglien. Oh, a lot of people think this is their best album. I probably think it's their best album. My dog's knocking my tripod, so it's all good. Fantastic record. Then they get signed to Charisma for their next album, dropped in 2021. Called Pastoralia. I love this thing. Fantastic record. So what are they all about, right? What's the deal with Jordsjø? Why am I so in love with them? And why did I include them in my 100 greatest prog bands of all time? I took a little bit of heat for that. Maybe jumped the gun a little bit, but I had faith in the boys that they were going to persevere and continue putting out great music. And this one here, Salighet, is no different, man. Salighet translates into bliss in English. What does this band even sound like, man? Well, they're dominated by guitar and flute, but there's a lot of mellotron, a lot of Hammond, and then you get a bunch of clavinet on this album. Really making me think of Gentle Giant whenever that clavinet kicks up. And bass clarinet, which was introduced in Pastoralia, all over the place here, adds a really cool sound, totally different, and I love it. Skogsprog, that's the word that I was introduced to the other day. I guess it means forest prog in Norwegian, and that's absolutely what these guys are. It's like deep, dark Scandinavian folk music mixed with a little bit of space rock and a whole bunch of symphonic. Just incredible. Reference points, probably you're looking at Anglagard, Jethro Tull, and maybe some of the Italian bands, right? They were apparently really influenced by horror movies, so maybe there's some Goblin influence in there a little bit. But the album starts with Invocation. It's only 3 minutes long. It's an instrumental piece. Starts out with a dirty Hammond organ and a flute. It's powerful. It's really awesome in F sharp minor. And then you get another section with the little syncopated acoustic guitar with some synthesizer in the background. You're still in 4, but it's really syncopated. And then that bass clarinet comes in. It's just really weird, really awesome. And that leads you right into Sankirin, which translates into the harvester. This is a 7.5-minute track, and it's just incredible. I love this thing. Real obtuse electric guitar figure, real jaggedy kind of pattern in D major. It does settle down finally in A minor for the vocal section, and it's real folk sounding. You get the flute mirroring the vocal line, which is really cool. I got something in my eyeball right now, man. It's driving me crazy. You ever have that happen? Just eyelash or something. I got really long eyelashes. Whatever. I'm not going to edit this. You guys are just going to watch me pop my eye for the next 5 minutes. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, so the flutes come in, and then you get just this pure magical section, man. You get a pedal point in D, where you're in 7/8 time. It's just awesome. And then you get all these little squiggly patterns going around. The Hammond organs are arpeggiating all these cool stuff. It's getting fast. It's just great, man. It totally makes me think of Genesis with the pedal point. It's a trick Genesis used many times, most famously in, Apocalypse in 9/8, but I just love it. Then you get like a slow burn Canterbury kind of ending with like some shifting tonality, and then that original guitar figure comes back and the song ends, and it's just amazing. I really like it. Next up is Salighet number 1. It's 6 minutes long, and it opens with some multiple flutes going at the same time with a mellotron in the background. You got a little finger-picked acoustic guitar going on. Then the clavinet comes in, again, making me think of Gentle Giant. You got some weird effect on the vocals on this song. We're in B-flat minor here. And then you get some acoustic guitar section with the clavinet, the bass clarinet, and some bongos. It's just awesome. The song kind of floats around for a little while until the last minute where it gets really cool and really crazy, leading you right into Salighet 2, which is 6 minutes long, and it's kind of bouncy. It's definitely the more up-tempo of the 2 title tracks. The chords are just like shifting around like crazy. You're in C minor. And then we finally settle down with a strummed acoustic guitar section in E minor and like a double electric guitar lead that's really cool. The vocals come in while the tonality just shifts around like you're walking around on shifting sands in the Sahara. And then that clavinet comes in again, making me think of Gentle Giant. It's real playful, non-linear, and then you get the church organ coming in, and then the song ends with like some wind chimes, and then you've got the flute and the bass clarinet playing melody again. It's awesome, man. I just dig it. I dig it a lot. Next up is the absolute keeper, the best song on the album. It's called Ura, which translates into Scree. 6 minutes, 39 seconds long. I'm gonna put a link to this video. Stop knocking with my tripod, girl. What are you doing? You are just messing with me today, aren't you? Anyway, so yeah, I will put a link to this particular song in the description of this video because you guys definitely need to hear it. Starts with an arpeggiated guitar in A minor. It's very haunting. You get more of those treated vocals, and then you get a little sea shanty kind of section. We're going from G minor to F to A minor back to G minor, and then the clavinet comes in again. Man, that thing's everywhere on this album. I don't remember the clavinet being this pronounced in Jordsjø music before. You get a real cool instrumental passage with the Hammond, and you're in some really weird time signature. And then the sea shanty part comes up again. And then you get just the coolest thing. You get another ostinato, another pedal point here. You got this weird guitar figure in F. We're in 10/8 time. And then you get the organ playing these wild chords, man. These real close, tight-knit, dissonant chords going all around this one pattern, this repeated guitar figure. Man, it's good. It is so amazing. I just love it. Again, you gotta say maybe Genesis is a point of reference here, but it's beyond anything they ever did. It's just amazing. The penultimate track is another instrumental. It's only 3 minutes long. You get a tricky little guitar pattern here. You're in 4, but it's like a swing beat, so it's implied 3. And man, he's playing these guitar runs like 64th notes. Even though we're in 4, the 64th notes sound off because it's an implied 3 throughout the beat. Just a really cool thing, man. If you're into music theory, you'll love this track. Yeah, it is 4/4, but it sure doesn't feel like it, man. And the flute comes in while the guitar is playing arpeggios. It's really up-tempo. The clavinet picks up the flute part. Just a fun little track, and it definitely sets you up for the final track, the 10.5-minute long closer called Stjernstigen, which translates into star sign. You got a piano intro in B-flat minor, which is really haunting, and dude goes into some craziness, making me think of maybe Keith Emerson on Trilogy. Then the main theme comes in at the 1-minute mark. You got the acoustic guitar and the flute going. Of course, with the clavinet and the bass clarinet going too. Just great. The end theme, the one that closes this out, first appears at the 2.5-minute mark. It's relaxed and calm and languid, a little spacey. Vocals kick in at the 3:20 mark. We're still in B-flat minor here. You get a little synth solo at the 4:20 mark. And then you get a heavier section with that dirty organ. I guess this is the chorus because he's singing about Stjernstigen here. But you get some multiple reverb guitars. It just real spacey, kind of Pink Floydy, just amazing. You get more of them treated vocals at the 6-minute mark, and then we modulate into D minor, and the song heads to the finish line. But it's a long sprint where we're going through this really weird chord progression that just shifts tonality left and right, and it just like kind of slowly dissipates into the ether sphere, and before you know it, the song's over and you're left scratching your head. This song was the hardest one for me to get into because it is the longest song and it is kind of the slowest paced song. It takes its sweet time to get to where it's going, and then when it gets there, you're like, I'm not really sure I understand this destination here, but after like 3 or 4 listens, I've decided that it's absolutely fantastic. I love this thing. So how am I going to score the new Jordsjø album, Salighet? Well, I don't think it's quite as good as their last 2, but I'm still thinking this thing here is dynamite, and it is 100% in 4.5 headphone territory. So that's my score, 4.5 headphones. It's almost perfect. I love this thing. I love Jordsjø. You guys know how much I love Norwegian prog, and this has been like the best year ever with the Chronicles of Father Robin and Seven Impale and Lars Fredrik Frosley and Tusmore. Just been an incredible year for Norwegian prog. I recommend you guys check all of those bands out. Anyway, I am Scott, and I love you guys. Thank you to all my subscribers for sticking with me through all my BS and all my craziness. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Peace in the Middle East. Free Tibet, and God save the king. Save that King Charles III. That son of a gun could use your saving, and we're gonna do it. Yes, indeed. I'll see you punks soon. Peace.